Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, true success still feels out of reach, like you're chasing something, but you're not even sure what it really is? Here's a question that might change your life. What if your zodiac sign holds the key to your hidden potential? Not just personality traits, but real, powerful reasons why you are destined to succeed. Today, we're talking about Sagittarius, the adventurer, the dreamer, but also something much deeper. Did you know Sagittarius carries within them a secret blueprint for creating wealth, freedom, and inner peace? This isn't about money alone, it's about understanding why you think, feel, and act the way you do. It's about turning those natural instincts into real-world success. In this video, we'll explore 18 powerful reasons why Sagittarius might be the most naturally gifted sign for building not just financial wealth, but a life of purpose and emotional freedom. These are insights grounded in astrology, psychology, and real human behavior. Insights that can help you unlock your path, whether you're a Sagittarius or simply someone searching for answers. So, if you're ready to see yourself from a new perspective, if you're curious about what makes you powerful, unique, and unstoppable, stay with me until the end. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs this message. Let's begin your journey to self-mastery. Right now, have you ever looked at someone and wondered, how do they always seem to dream bigger than everyone else? Not just chasing success, but redefining what success even means. That's the silent power of Sagittarius, a vision that reaches far beyond what most people dare to imagine. For a Sagittarius, dreaming small is never an option. Their mind naturally stretches toward the horizon. They look at the future not as something uncertain, but as a canvas waiting to be painted. Where others see obstacles, they see potential. Where others hesitate, they take a step forward. And it's not just about money. It's about building a life where every choice, every decision, aligns with a future they've already pictured in their heart. Think of someone who refuses to settle. Maybe it's that friend who always talks about launching a business, or that traveler who keeps learning new languages. That's the Sagittarius energy in action. It's not random curiosity. It's a deep belief that there's always something bigger waiting. They're not escaping life, they're expanding it. But what fuels that drive? It's not blind faith. It's something more grounded. Sagittarius carries an unshakable optimism, a belief that no matter how hard things get, the sun will rise again tomorrow. They see failures, but they don't personalize them. They face rejection, but don't let it define their worth. It's almost like life's setbacks become fuel for their next adventure. Let me ask you, when was the last time you looked at a problem and said, "This is a door, not a wall"? That's what Sagittarius does, almost instinctively. Their optimism isn't naive, it's a survival skill. Because when you believe the road ahead is open, you keep walking. And when you keep walking, you find paths no one else ever noticed. Think about that startup founder who lost their first 3 businesses but smiled and launched a 4th. Or that writer who kept submitting their book after dozens of rejections. Behind their persistence, there's something more powerful than determination. It's hope. Real, solid hope. And that's the secret weapon Sagittarius carries every day. Now, combine that optimism with something else, a hunger to learn. Sagittarius isn't just looking forward, they're constantly absorbing, reading, listening, questioning, growing. For them, every new skill isn't just a tool, it's a key to the next door, a chance to open a new opportunity. And this isn't surface-level learning. It's driven by a deeper psychological need, the desire to understand not just how the world works, but why they feel the way they do, why people act the way they act. That's why many Sagittarians dive into psychology, philosophy, even spirituality. Not to escape reality, but to master it. Think about it. In a world where change is the only constant, who wins? The person who waits, or the person who adapts? Sagittarius learns to adapt before change even knocks. They're not stuck in one industry, one job, one identity. They know the next big opportunity could come from a podcast, a random conversation, or a book they haven't read yet. That's why their love for learning isn't a hobby. It's a survival strategy. And here's where it gets interesting. What does a Sagittarius do with all that knowledge? They take risks. Not reckless, blind risks, but bold, calculated ones. The kind of risks that make others nervous, but Sagittarius excited, because deep down, they trust themselves. They know that stepping into the unknown is often the fastest way to grow. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path feels safe, predictable, the other is foggy, unclear. Most people choose safety. Sagittarius? They step into the fog, not because they're fearless, but because their curiosity is stronger than their fear. And when they do take a wrong turn, they don't crumble. They learn. They adjust. They pivot. Risk, for Sagittarius, isn't a gamble, it's a process. A necessary step in discovering not just wealth, but themselves. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that dangerous? Maybe, but what's more dangerous? Failing, or never trying? That's the question Sagittarius answers every day with their actions. In business, in relationships, in personal growth, they're willing to bet on themselves. And often, that's the bet that pays off. So, if you've ever wondered why some people seem to thrive when others hesitate, look closer. Behind their success, you might find a Sagittarius spirit, a dreamer who refuses to shrink, a learner who refuses to stop growing, and a risk-taker who believes the unknown holds more promise than fear. And maybe, just maybe, that spirit is inside you too. So as you listen to this, ask yourself, where have you stopped dreaming? Where have you stopped learning? What risks have you been avoiding? Because sometimes, all it takes to change your life is to believe, like Sagittarius does, that the horizon isn't the end. It's just the beginning. There's something powerful about a person who doesn't just dream, but lights up everyone around them with that dream. Sagittarius has that gift. When they speak about their goals, it's not just words, it's energy. It's the kind of excitement that makes you believe in possibilities you never saw before. Have you ever met someone who makes you feel like anything is possible just by the way they talk? That's what Sagittarius does. Their passion is contagious. Their ideas aren't just plans, they're invitations. Invitations to join them on a journey. And people follow. Not because they're persuaded, but because they're inspired. But this ability to inspire isn't about ego, it comes from a genuine place. A place where Sagittarius truly believes that success isn't a solo journey. They want others to walk beside them, to rise with them. That's why they naturally attract allies, friends, mentors, even strangers who feel drawn into their vision. And in a world where connection is everything, that's not just a personality trait, it's a path to success. Think about the last time you felt truly inspired by someone. What did that feel like? What did it make you want to do? That's the feeling Sagittarius awakens in others without even trying. And that energy creates opportunities most people never have access to. But what happens when life throws curveballs? When plans change overnight? While many freeze, Sagittarius adapts. It's not just flexibility in actions, it's a mindset. A belief that change isn't something to fear. It's a doorway to something new. Their adventurous soul sees uncertainty not as chaos, but as potential. Imagine losing your job. Many people would panic. Sagittarius? They might see it as the perfect excuse to finally start that side business they've been dreaming about. Or when a relationship ends, instead of seeing failure, they might see freedom. A chance to rediscover who they are. This isn't false positivity. It's a deep understanding that life itself is fluid, that what feels like the end is often the start of something better. That's a lesson we can all learn from them. Because resisting change doesn't stop it, but embracing it? That's where growth lives. And Sagittarius knows how to pivot, how to let go of what no longer serves them, and move forward with open eyes and an open heart. Now, let's talk about something subtle, but powerful. The way Sagittarius connects with people. They don't build networks. They build communities. Their charm isn't practiced, it's authentic. It's the warmth in their voice, the spark in their eyes, the curiosity in their questions. They make people feel seen. And in today's world, feeling seen is rare. That's why people remember them. That's why doors open for them. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being the most real. Sagittarius knows how to nurture relationships. They understand that every genuine connection can lead to unexpected opportunities, whether in business, in love, or in personal growth. Think of that person who walks into a cafe and, by the time they leave, they've made 3 new friends. That's the Sagittarius energy. And it's not forced, it's effortless, because their charisma is born from a genuine interest in people's stories. And that's magnetic. And here's a secret most people overlook. Sagittarius knows how to give, but they give with wisdom. Their generosity isn't about being liked, it's strategic, but not manipulative. They understand that acts of kindness, when given sincerely, create bridges of trust, bridges of loyalty. Maybe it's helping a colleague without being asked, or investing time in mentoring someone without expecting anything in return. These small actions ripple outward, and eventually, those ripples return. Sagittarius doesn't keep score, but somehow, they always seem to find themselves surrounded by people who want to help them succeed. Their generosity creates emotional wealth, and that emotional wealth often transforms into opportunities, partnerships, and collaborations. It's proof that in the world of success, giving can be a strategy when it's guided by sincerity. So what's the takeaway here? It's simple, but not easy. If you want to grow, if you want to build something lasting, focus not just on what you can get, but on what you can give. Like Sagittarius, let your giving flow from a place of belief that relationships matter, that trust matters, that helping someone else succeed might just unlock your own next step. Now, imagine combining all of this together. The ability to inspire, the flexibility to embrace change, the natural charisma that forges deep, authentic connections, and the quiet power of strategic generosity. What does that create? It creates someone who doesn't chase success, they attract it. And in the next part of this video, we'll explore how Sagittarius channels that emotional strength into mastering their own growth, turning every failure into fuel and negotiating life's biggest opportunities. Because the final 3 traits we're about to uncover might just be the most profound and the most surprising of all. There's something powerful about a person who wakes up every morning believing they can be better than they were yesterday. Not just in skills, but in who they are. Sagittarius lives with that quiet belief every day. Growth, to them, isn't a task. It's who they are. It's not about fixing flaws. It's about expanding potential. Think of someone who reads not because they have to, but because they're hungry for answers. Someone who listens, not just to reply, but to understand. That's what Sagittarius does naturally. Their mind isn't stuck in, what's wrong with me? It's always asking, what more can I become? And when failure happens, and it always does for everyone, they don't crumble. They learn, they adapt, they evolve. Life's failures, for Sagittarius, are like fuel stations on the long journey. Every setback is a place to stop, refuel, reflect, and continue stronger. It's a mindset that many people never learn, but it's one that makes the difference between those who give up and those who grow. If you've ever failed and felt stuck, ask yourself, did you treat failure as the end or as a lesson? That simple question can change your entire future. Now, let's explore something people often misunderstand: negotiation. Most people think negotiation is about winning, about taking more for yourself, but Sagittarius approaches negotiation differently. It's not just about winning, it's about aligning, about understanding what both sides need, and creating a space where everyone feels seen. Have you ever sat in a conversation where you didn't feel heard? It's exhausting, isn't it? Sagittarius knows that feeling, and they work to avoid creating it in others. In business, in relationships, in life, this matters. Real negotiation, the kind that builds lasting success, is based on empathy. Sagittarius knows how to speak clearly, but they also know how to listen. They can assert their needs without ignoring yours. They build trust in negotiations because they genuinely care about the outcome for everyone involved. And that trust becomes the foundation for deals, agreements, and relationships that last. Imagine two people sitting at a table. One is trying to win, the other is trying to understand. Who do you think walks away with more? Maybe not immediately, but in the long run, the person who understands always wins more. Sagittarius uses that quiet wisdom over and over again, and that's why they often find doors opening where others find walls. But none of this works without one thing: confidence. Not fake confidence, not loud arrogance, but the deep, steady confidence that comes from knowing who you are. Sagittarius carries that inside them. When they walk into a room, people notice, not because they're trying to be seen, but because they're comfortable in their own skin, and that comfort radiates outward. Confidence isn't just about believing you'll succeed. It's about believing you can survive failure. It's about knowing that your worth isn't tied to a single moment. Think about that for a second. How would you live differently if you weren't afraid of failing? If you knew that success and failure are both just parts of your story? That's the kind of quiet strength Sagittarius brings to everything they do. And it's not just for their own benefit. Their confidence reassures people around them. Investors, business partners, friends, they all sense it, and they trust it. People are drawn to those who trust themselves. It's human nature. We want to follow people who seem sure of the road ahead, even when the road isn't clear. Now, let's talk about time. Because Sagittarius understands something most people miss. Time isn't just passing, it's the most precious resource we have. Every moment is a choice. And Sagittarius makes those choices carefully. They know that every yes is also a no to something else. So they learn to focus, to choose wisely, to spend their energy where it matters most. Maybe you found yourself busy but not productive. Sagittarius avoids that trap. They ask themselves constantly, is this bringing me closer to my goals? And if the answer is no, they move on. Time optimization isn't about rushing. It's about alignment, about making sure your actions today serve your vision for tomorrow. And that's a lesson anyone can apply. Look at your daily habits, your conversations, your work. Are they moving you forward, or are they just keeping you busy? That's a hard question, but an important one. Because time wasted is opportunity lost. Sagittarius refuses to lose time. And that's why, even when they seem to leap ahead overnight, the truth is, they've been moving with purpose all along. Now, here's something you need to know. All of this, the growth, the negotiation, the confidence, the focus on time, it's not just strategy, it's identity. For Sagittarius, it's woven into who they are. They're not following a roadmap. They're becoming the map. They're shaping a life that aligns with their soul. And as we move forward, the final part of this video will reveal something even deeper. The last 3 traits we'll explore aren't just tools for success, they're the emotional engine behind it. They're the reason Sagittarius doesn't burn out, doesn't give up, and doesn't settle for less than they're capable of. In fact, what you'll discover next may completely change how you think about ambition, success, and your own path forward. So stay with me, because what's coming next might just be the most surprising part of all. Have you ever wondered why some people never seem stuck in one place? Why they're always moving, always learning, always exploring new possibilities? That's the spirit of Sagittarius at work. It's not just about travel or adventure. It's something much deeper. Sagittarius carries within them a natural wanderlust, not just for new places, but for new ideas, new cultures, new ways of thinking. For them, the world isn't made of borders, it's made of doors. Every place, every person, every conversation is a chance to discover something that could change everything, and that wanderlust gives them an edge, in business, in life, in their own personal growth. Because the more you see, the more you understand. And the more you understand, the more powerful your decisions become. Think of someone who's lived in different countries, worked in different industries, met people from every background. That person sees patterns others can't. They connect dots most people don't even notice. That's Sagittarius. Their adventurous nature isn't just for fun, it's a strategy. It's how they stay ahead. But that's not all. Sagittarius has something else, something that's often invisible from the outside. They are creative thinkers, not just artistic, but creative in their solutions. They look at problems differently, while others ask, what's the usual way to fix this? Sagittarius asks, is there a better way? Their mind is wired to question, to innovate, to reimagine. That's why they're often seen as trendsetters, as pioneers. They don't copy what's been done. They imagine what hasn't been done yet. And that kind of thinking is powerful. In a world that rewards innovation, Sagittarius has the mindset to lead. But this creativity doesn't just help them in business, it shapes their entire life. They find creative ways to grow, to heal, to connect. They're not limited by traditional paths. They're open to creating their own. And in that openness, they find freedom. Now, let's think about something modern. Technology. Many people fear it, resist it, avoid it. But not Sagittarius. Their curiosity drives them forward. They're not intimidated by new tools. They're excited, because every new technology feels like a new key. A key that could open a door to greater freedom, greater success, greater connection. From exploring digital investments to mastering online platforms, Sagittarius embraces technology not because it's trendy, but because it represents possibility. They understand that in today's world, adaptability isn't optional, it's survival, and technology is the tool that helps them stay ahead of the curve. While others hesitate, Sagittarius experiments, they learn, they evolve. And that's why they often find themselves leading in spaces others are just starting to understand. But beneath all this movement, all this learning, all this creativity, lies something even more personal. A deep desire for financial freedom. And not for the reasons you might think. Sagittarius doesn't chase money just to have more. They chase freedom, to choose, to live life on their own terms. For them, wealth isn't about status. It's about independence. About waking up in the morning and deciding how to spend the day. About choosing work because they love it, not because they need it. That desire shapes every decision they make. It's the reason they work hard, the reason they take risks, the reason they say yes to opportunities others fear. It's not greed, it's the pursuit of a life that feels authentic, where every choice belongs to them. And here's where it connects to something deeper. Sagittarius craves freedom not just physically, but emotionally. They want to be free from fear, from doubt, from limitations. And that's why their journey isn't just financial, it's psychological. Every step forward is a step toward a life where they are truly in control, not just of their finances, but of their happiness. Think about that for a moment. What does freedom mean to you? Is it money? Time? Peace of mind? For Sagittarius, it's all of these. And that's why their passion burns so bright. They're not chasing an income. They're chasing a life that feels like their own. Now, imagine combining this relentless pursuit of freedom with their creativity, their technological edge, and their global mindset. It creates a person who doesn't just adapt to the future, they help build it. And yet, there's more. Because everything we've talked about so far, the curiosity, the confidence, the leadership, the risk-taking, the relationships, those are just the foundation. The final 3 traits we're about to explore next reveal the true heart of Sagittarius. They are the emotional engine behind everything, the fuel that powers the vision, the courage, the relentless drive. And for many people, These last three qualities may be the most surprising and the most powerful of all. So stay with me, because what comes next might just change how you see not only Sagittarius, but yourself. There's something about Sagittarius that people often overlook. It's not just their energy, not just their intelligence or ambition, it's their leadership. But not leadership in the traditional sense. Sagittarius doesn't lead by command, they lead by inspiration. They guide others not by controlling them, but by lighting the way. Their vision, their passion, their fire, it pulls people forward. Not because Sagittarius says, "Follow me," but because others want to walk beside them. Think of someone in your life who makes you believe more is possible. Someone who pushes you gently, simply by being themselves. That's Sagittarius. They see potential in people long before those people see it themselves. And when they speak, their words aren't instructions, they're invitations. Sagittarius creates teams, communities, even movements because they believe in shared growth, in shared success. Their leadership is built on trust, on honesty, on enthusiasm that never feels forced. They encourage creativity, they celebrate effort, they create spaces where people feel safe to try, to fail, to grow, and that's why people follow them, not out of obligation, but out of belief. This leadership shows up in business, in friendships, in family. Sagittarius carries it like a quiet power. They don't need to control, they need to inspire, and that difference changes everything. But leadership alone isn't what makes them unstoppable. Beneath it all is something even more powerful, something deeper, a force that drives them day after day, through wins and losses, through joy and heartbreak. It's their passion. Passion isn't a spark for Sagittarius. It's the fire that keeps them alive. It's why they dream so big, why they learn so much, why they risk when others retreat. When a Sagittarius finds something they believe in, a goal, a project, a vision, they pour themselves into it completely. They don't hold back, they don't hesitate. Their heart leads, and their actions follow. This passion is what gives them resilience, what pushes them to get back up, again and again, no matter how many times life knocks them down. It's what fuels their late nights, their early mornings, their endless curiosity, and their need to keep moving forward. Have you ever seen someone who refuses to quit, not because they're stubborn, but because their heart won't let them? That's Sagittarius. For them, giving up isn't an option, because their goals aren't just ideas. They're part of who they are, and that passion, it's contagious. It draws people in, makes people believe, because when someone believes in their own dream that much, it's hard not to believe with them. But here's the secret. Their passion isn't just for success. It's for growth, for freedom, for life itself. Now, as we reach the end of this journey, let's pause for a moment. What does all of this mean? It means that success isn't just about working hard. It's about understanding who you are, about embracing your natural strengths, about trusting your path, even when it feels uncertain. Sagittarius shows us that success is built not only through strategy, but through spirit, through vision, through connection, through the quiet belief that life has more to offer, and the courage to go out and find it. Maybe you're a Sagittarius, or maybe you simply carry their spirit inside you. Either way, this video isn't just about them. It's about you. It's about anyone ready to stop waiting and start moving. Anyone ready to stop doubting and start believing. Anyone ready to choose a life that feels truly free. So, if you saw even a little bit of yourself in this video, don't let that feeling fade. Hold on to it. And remember, your story is still being written. If today's message touched something inside you, if it made you think, or feel, or believe, then I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss what's coming next. Like the video if you felt seen today, and share it with someone who needs this reminder, someone who's forgotten their fire, someone who needs help finding their way back to themselves, because there's more to explore together. In future videos, we'll dive even deeper into astrology, psychology, and the hidden powers that shape our lives. And who knows, the next insight you hear might be the one that changes everything. Thank you for being here. And remember, your freedom, your success, your future are waiting. All you need to do is take the next step. I'll see you in the next video.